Hey playa, have you ever liked someone and wanted to start a conversation with them in person, but you were just too nervous to do it, so you decided instead that you were going to message them online? Well, what exactly is the right way to phrase it? How should you start that conversation? All those different kinds of questions I'm going to answer for you right after this.
This is the Just Beats, you're watching the Just Beat.
For those of you that are new here, my name is Josh, and every single Monday through Friday, I make videos sharing tips, ideas, and stories teaching you how to be your best self. Now, when it comes to messaging someone for the very first time, you have to ask yourself, is this the most effective way to communicate with them? Some people really only text their friends, or maybe their online profile is private, so they only really interact with people that they know there. So you need to ask yourself, if this person is private, if they've kind of made their life a little sheltered from me, is trying to break through it without ever talking to them in person the best way to go? One of the main reasons why you want to message them first is simply because you might be too nervous to talk to them, to approach them, to say hi, to start the interaction that way. But you might actually be hurting your chances with your crush by trying to message them before talking to them in person. You might send them a message and it might sit there in their inbox without them seeing it, without them reading it, without them knowing that you're there. The most ideal scenario is for you to send your crush a message, for them to respond, and for the two of you to really get to know each other there online. But then what do? I mean, at some point, the two of you are going to have to interact in person. So is it easier to do that now where there's no expectations and you're just two people who don't really know each other? Or is it easier to do it later when you've built up this whole conversation online and now meeting in person has to meet the expectation of what you've talked about? I personally think that it's way more effective to go from in-person talking to texting. I see texting more as a supplement to how you guys can communicate when you're not there in school or around each other at all. Besides all that, though, let's say you still want to message her first. What do you say? How do you start the conversation? How can you successfully slide into her DMs? Well, I think before you think about sliding anywhere, you need to first start interacting with her content. I would say whenever she posts pictures or stories, you can always leave comments or questions on them. Be interactive with her content so that she can be more familiar with your username. Chances are, if you're interactive with her content enough, she's going to eventually check out your profile to see who you are. So that's really the first step in getting her to be more familiar with you. I would say one of the best ways to send her that first initial message is to leave a question on one of her stories. Those stories automatically translate into a direct message conversation. So if you ask her a question and she responds, boom, you already have a conversation going. Or if you wanted to send her a cold open message, I would always initiate with a question because a question prompts a response. Don't send something like, hey, hi, what's up? What are you doing? Or any of those type of things because those are too generic and she's going to end up ignoring them. Also, when I mentioned before that after you comment enough, she's going to check out your profile, you're going to want to have something recognizable in there so she can know that you're someone at least in her school. So maybe put your school year, or anything in there so she can know that you're not just some random stranger on the internet. Now, one thing that might happen once you send her that initial question as a message is she might give you a short answer response. So where do you take it from there? Well, I think the best thing for you to do is to follow up with a story. The question that you asked, try to incorporate a story from your own life and your own experience into it so she can learn a little bit more about you. That first initial message shouldn't just be about pleasantries and saying hi to each other. It should really be something that you can learn about her. That's why you commented on one of her stories or one of her pictures, because you had a question, you had a follow-up, you had an opinion on something she's doing, and you wanted to share a bit of your own experience. Trust me on this though, only do that if you want to stand out, because there are so many people out there that send these generic messages hoping and waiting for a response. When you keep things very general, they're not interesting to your crush. They're not going to care to respond, and trust me, they probably get tons of messages already like that. So comment and question on the different things that she posts. That'll lead you to slide into her DMs to start a conversation and take it from there. But if you have the option to talk in person, that's always the preferable choice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. And I want to say, guys, I'm super excited because today is the official launch of my book, Embracing the Awkward. So if you want to check it out, the link is going to be down there in the description below. And on that note, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. As always, love and peace.